Hello, this is Mr. Willis, and in this lesson I'm going to show you how to make some slightly more advanced shapes in Google SketchUp. So for this one, I'm going to start with a relatively simple shape. You may remember me seeing how I draw a rectangle and then use my push-pull tool to pop it up, and so I basically have a box. And what I'm going to create with this one is a peaked roof. If you look around at a lot of houses, they don't just have a flat roof, it kind of forms a peak at the top. And so let me show you how I do that, and this might inspire you to do some other advanced shapes of your own. So the first thing I know about a peaked roof is that the peak needs to be right in the middle of my roof. And so to create that middle portion, I'm going to use the pencil tool. And this tool lets me draw, instead of an entire shape, it lets me make individual lines. And I have to be careful because I can't start this line from just anywhere along here. I need to put the line right at the midpoint of this edge. And you'll notice when I get close, all of a sudden my mouse kind of snaps to the midpoint because it knows that that's an important spot, and it turns blue. And if I hold it still, I even see the word midpoint appear. So I'll go ahead and click there, and I am just clicking and then releasing my mouse. Now I'm going to move down to the other edge, and you'll notice if I kind of follow the line straight, even if I move my mouse a little bit to the right or to the left, it can kind of tell I'm wanting to do a straight line. What I really don't want to do is just go way over here, because then I'm off center. And once I reach the edge, if I have indeed hit the midpoint, I should once again see one of these blue dots, and it says midpoint. So I will go ahead and click and release one more time. Now you can see I have a line going right down the middle of my roof. And before I do anything else, I'm going to switch away from that pencil tool, because if I were to keep clicking, I would just keep drawing lines everywhere, and that'd get a little crazy. So I'm going to look around just for a moment, make sure, yep, looks like that line is indeed right in the middle. It's looking pretty good. And then I'm going to make sure that for my view, I want a view like this, where I'm kind of looking down at a 45-degree angle. I can see both the front and the side. I can get a good view of the top, and it's not hitting the edge of my screen up here. There's plenty of green space around here for me to kind of move and look around. Alright, now I'm going to go back up to my manipulation tools. Remember how we use the push and pull just to make things 3D? Well, here's a new one we're going to use. This one is called the Move. It has 4 arrows, and this lets me grab any edge or corner or other part of the shape and kind of push or pull on just that one little part. And I want to be careful with this one, because let me show you something real quick here. If I just grab and click like way to the side, you'll see how it suddenly made this weird, I don't even know what that is, some sort of shelf sticking out to the side. I'm just going to undo that. So when I click on it, I'm going to make sure I'm right on this line that I've made in the middle, and very carefully I'm going to start moving my line straight up. And if I'm doing it correctly, you'll see how it says on blue axis. That's where it kind of tells it can tell you're wanting to pull it straight up, and so that blue dotted line you see below it is the blue axis. In other words, that's our like our Z axis, and it's keeping things nice and straight as I pull it up. And once I think it's about high enough, I'll let go, and to check my work, I'll use that orbit tool again, or maybe the hand tool, just to kind of move around and take a look at my shape, and it looks like I've made a nice peaked roof. So there's just one example. Now, where else you can go when you start using a combination of some of these other tools is really up to your imagination. I'll maybe show you one more if you're still watching in the video. So consider this bonus content. Let's say I'll start with more of a square in this one, and we'll make it 3D. And I'm going to use this one right here called the offset tool. What's cool about this one is that when I click, it makes a rectangle within the existing rectangle, but you'll see as I draw it out there, it's going to kind of stay right even with all of the edges. And so what's great about this is I can get it to an appropriate spot and then use my push-pull to pull up. Maybe I'm going to do like a tower where each section keeps going up. Or what a student discovered a couple years ago is if I push it down just a little bit and then repeat the process. Whoa, there we go. make it almost to the edge again, and I'll grab and push that down again. I'm almost getting something that kind of looks like bleachers here in my building. And so I've had some pretty cool athletic stadiums built over the years by using a technique kind of like this. You could even do the same thing with the big circle, get something looking like like a big amphitheater. So there's just a couple ideas, and see what you can do with those.